So Deputy Fitzmaurice, tell us what you're going to deliver for rural communities after this election.
The first thing you have to do is get elected, and that's the people's decision. And then if the numbers add up, calling a spade, it looks at the moment as if it's going to be, if you go by the polls or if you believe in the polls, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil are the largest grouping that'll be there. They probably, on account of 14 new TDs being added to the numbers in the Dáil, it will probably need a third leg to the stool, and hopefully we can be part of that. You have to see, do you get that chance? We want to be in government, we've said it very clearly. I think with the way the parties moved over the last week, if you looked at all our policy documents that we had put out 6 months ago, got criticised for some of them, was told that we were right-wing. Well, lo and behold, just it was nearly copy and paste with most of them when they, put it in. And look, that's their choice. That's politics, and we're big boys. We're able to get on with that. But we need to, if that opportunity came, the first thing that's important though is what's down on the paper for programme for government. Forget about mercs and perks and all of that crack. The first thing that's very important is that there's red line issues and that we all adhere to them. And whatever you agree in a programme for government, you stand by it. You don't go back on it. And I think politicians have to take a stronger hold of the agricultural sector or the department, in the Department of Agriculture and other departments, the likes of rural affairs and all that, for the simple reason, for too long, every single rule has been coming in and there doesn't seem to be a pushback. We have to put farmers front and centre for the viability of rural areas.
Most farmers would like to see a little bit of representation as opposed to opposition, really. There seems to be an awful lot of bad light being thrown at farmers with environmental issues and stuff like that, so I think it's about time maybe whatever government comes in starts looking after farmers. I'm
not going to be like Micheál Martin and Simon Harris saying they don't support Mercosur in its present form. We don't support it. That's it. We're not going to put caveats into it. Second of all, we will not stand by to be a red line issue, basically all this talk on and off, and I'm not blaming politicians solely for this, the cull to the national herd, because unfortunately we've nearly seen a cull because of inaction, especially in the suckler herd, where we have seen 192,000 on your own figures that you would have put out there, of less suckler cows in the country. So we are bringing in a €300 suckler cow grant. That's for every cow that has a calf. So the calf scheme is included. I'm not going to be leaving this hazy for anyone. On top of that, we recognise that a farm retirement scheme is required because a lot of farmers are getting very old. It's probably the only business that you don't have the opportunity to retire when you look at all the different types of businesses out there. And we need to make sure that we make it attractive and that land is released for young people, because obviously you'll improve productivity by 20 to 30% if that is done. We also have a €5 extra for the EO premium, or the welfare scheme on that. We also have a yellow card system that will need teasing out, but it has to be done, because unfortunately at the moment when farmers get the word of an inspection, a lot of farmers are afraid, and everyone is human. Everyone knows that you mightn't have everything 100% right, and I believe that every 2 years you should be able to have a yellow card system that you can put off your inspection, other than animal welfare. That if that you can put it off for a month, and if there's things that you need to do, that it gives the farmer the chance, because at the end of the day, just think, this money, everyone thinks this money is coming in a ship or an airplane back from Europe. Ireland is a net contributor to the European budget. We give more money to Europe than what we get back, and everyone needs to understand that. So what are we doing? We are actually, by penalising the farming community on any of the grant system, we are actually leaving money in the coffers of Europe that we already give to them.
the rules and regulations keep changing. Like, we get one set of rules and regulations today and you get your head around them, and next week you're told, oh, they're changing again next week. So like, they need to just take a set of rules and stick to them and give us a chance to actually implement them and get used to them.
On top of that, we need to make sure that there's a funding mechanism for young farmers, and we have put in a body, and this will need teasing out. I'm not saying that it's the finished article. We will put in a body like the Land Commission was, but not the dead same, that would basically in areas buy up land and put it out again to younger farmers. Because what's happening around this country at the moment is there are certain big business people mopping up land. They let the farmers keep bidding against each other, and when they're finished in, they move in and they buy the land.
Like politicians, they give more money into young farmers to get them started off in farming and getting land.
I think that it'd be important that politicians give money to local agricultural businesses like ourselves here in Manorhampton Livestock Sales.
How important is the nitrates derogation for Irish farmers?
Well, I tell you, there are some people that would be either side of the fence on this. Do you understand me? There's people that would say, oh, well, I don't know. But you know what? No matter where you are in this country, this is the facts. They're not making more land. In actual fact, it's getting squeezed. And the facts are, if we lose the nitrates derogation, whether you like it or whether you don't like it, that will put pressure, because obviously if a person that's in Darien, they are probably at the better end of the scale compared with a suckler farmer or a sheep farmer, and they will be looking for land. And there's no point in saying they won't, because they're going to try and protect their income. And if the derogation goes, it will put more pressure on the tillage farmer, the suckler farmer and the sheep farmer.
The next government, they need to hold the nitrates. Nitrates are so important, like, if they don't hold the nitrates, sure, like, we can't go on, we don't know where we're going. Nitrates is going to control everything. Like Food Vision 2030 will be controlled by the amount of land, and the land isn't getting any bigger, the land is getting less. And if the nitrates isn't held, we're in serious trouble, like. And then after that, I suppose Mercosur, if Mercosur comes in the way they're trying to bring it in, sure, like, where do we go? Like, you know, what do we do? Like, Food Vision 2030 is gone, like.